Welcome back to Director's Choice. Christmas is just around the corner, and it is one of the best times in the year. The air is full of cheer and homes are cozy, with timeless classics playing on screens. One of the best Christmas movies to date is Elf, which follows the story of Buddy Hobbs, who embodies the true meaning of Christmas. Everyone has someone in their lives that's just so happy and bubbly that you wonder if they've ever had a bad day. Well, that is Buddy. He is the main character of this epic Christmas flick, and he is an overly optimistic person who seems like he eats rainbows for lunch. And judging by the number of candies he eats, he probably does. But what is the story behind his smile? Can anything ever put a stop to it? Watch till the end of this video to find out. Buddy Hobbs is a shining light, but what fuels his bulb? Here's the breakdown of Buddy Hobbs' psychology.
And every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Shooby-dooby.
William Buddy Hobbs was born as a result of a one-night stand between Walter Hobbs and Susan Wells. His mother didn't inform his biological father about Buddy's existence, and shortly after he was born, Susan placed him in an orphanage. Susan passed away, and Buddy spent a few months in the orphanage. This birth story would be enough for anyone to have a sad outlook on life. But Buddy's story takes an interesting turn. As an infant in the orphanage, he watched Santa Claus come down the chimney to eat cookies. When he spotted a teddy bear in Santa's sack, baby Buddy crawled straight into it. This would later be his first approach to situations, going headfirst in search of happiness without paying attention to any possible dangers or disappointments.
Does someone need a hug? I just wanted a hug!
When Santa gets back to the North Pole, baby Buddy crawls back out and surprises Santa and the elves.
His name is Buddy. What do we do?
An older elf, Papa Elf, who has always wanted a child, decided to take custody of him. And Buddy was raised as an elf, despite being human. And that was the foundation of his outlook on life, a magical reality with unending joy.
Not too fast, Buddy.
Buddy has a very unique personality. He doesn't fit in physically with the elves at the North Pole. He doesn't fit in mentally with the humans in New York. This doesn't put a downer on his happy personality, but it does cause some problems for him.
Don't tell him what you want. He's a liar. You disgust me. How can you live with yourself? You sit on a throne of lies.
Buddy constantly finds himself in situations where he sticks out like a sore thumb. In the North Pole, after getting adopted by Papa Elf, he grew up among the other elves, but he didn't exactly fit in there. He was physically different from the elves, and since the small stature of the elves is what defines them, Buddy was very out of place. Although he lived and acted like them, Buddy knew he didn't fit in.
It seems I'm not an elf.
He couldn't work as efficiently as the other elves. When he got older, Papa Elf told him more about his human lineage. This helps Buddy understand why he felt out of place among the other elves, and he heads out to New York to find his birth father. But he didn't fit in there either.
You'll find your fortune falling all over town. Be sure that
Buddy arrives in New York wearing his elf costume, and he's met with curious stares from passersby. He doesn't know how to act like an adult. He doesn't know the basics of city living. He picks up gum from the subway banister. He crosses haphazardly and tries to ride an escalator by splitting his legs. He mixes spaghetti and candies together because all he ate in the North Pole were sweets.
We elves try to stick to the 4 main food groups: candy, candy canes, candy corns, and syrup.
His personality is seen as strange and comical by people in New York, and it sometimes stretches the limits of morals.
What? I can't go to sleep unless I get tucked in. Tickle fight! Tickle fight!
In his first encounter with Jovi, Buddy is in the women's bathroom. That was strange in itself, and he makes it even stranger by singing along with her. It shows just how detached he was from the basics of social coexistence among adults. He didn't see a problem with being there or startling her, and that just further points to his innocence that continues throughout the movie.
Get out! Don't look at me! Get out!
Buddy's naivety is a result of the circumstances surrounding his upbringing, and this makes it hard for him to fit into different settings. Buddy takes on challenges with a smile and without a second thought, but that comes with some sad moments for the bubbly elf man.
I'm the worst toy maker in the world. I'm a cotton-headed ninny-muggins.
No, buddy, you're not a cotton-headed ninny-muggins.
Buddy is very optimistic, but expectations sometimes bring about disappointments. When he was younger, all he wanted was to be an elf, but nature won over nurture. Buddy didn't find out about his human blood in a pre-planned way. He overhears it among the elves. That can be a huge downer for anyone. It is similar to the way most adopted children feel out of place, especially after being told their birth story.
Papa says my real father lives in a magical place far away. I don't know what to do.
Buddy is excited when he finds out that he has a human father, but soon learns that his father is greedy and selfish, which disappoints him. He is not weighed down by this and still sets out to find his father in New York. When Buddy meets his father, he learns that Walter remarried and now has a son named Michael, Buddy's half-brother. That would have been a major disappointment, but Buddy's bright spirits weren't dampened. He instead accepts his new family warmly.
I traveled through the 7 levels of the candy cane forest, past the sea of swirly, twirly gumdrops, and then I walked.
While working as a role-playing elf at the Gimbal store, Buddy is informed that Santa is coming, and he gets very excited, thinking it will be the Santa he knows from the North Pole.
Okay, people, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Santa's coming to town.
Santa! Oh my God! Santa here? I know him. I know him.
Buddy spends the night decorating the space in anticipation, but when the store-hired Santa shows up, he gets very disappointed and angry. This is the first actual sign of anger that Buddy shows in the entire movie, which depicts that, despite his elf-like upbringing, his human emotions were still intact.
He's an imposter! He's a fake! He's a fake!
Later in the movie, when he disrupts Walter's meeting with Finch, Buddy experiences his biggest disappointment.
Call me Elf one more time.
He's an angry elf.
Walter disowns Buddy as a result of the altercation. Buddy leaves an apology note and runs away to hide in Central Park.
I don't belong anywhere.
Put these series of disappointments together, and you should have an angry elf man seeking to cause wreckage. But beyond the elf cheer that Buddy has, he is also a good person and never stops spreading Christmas cheer.
Looks like a Christmas tree.
Despite his hurdles, challenges, and disappointments, Buddy's positivity always stands out.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
Through every change he goes through, one thing remains constant about Buddy: his cheery attitude. He remains optimistic about life and situations.
Why are you smiling like that?
I just like to smile. Smiling's my favorite.
When he arrives in New York, the spirit of Christmas is very low. But even as he goes on his many adventures, Buddy manages to spread joy through his infectious positivity. There is no end to his joy. While wandering in New York, he sees a world's best coffee shop. and congratulates all the customers inside the shop. He constantly compliments people. When he goes to Walter's office, he comments on how cool Francisco's name is and tells Deb that she's so pretty. She could be on a Christmas card.
Francisco. 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 Francisco.
His personality is so naturally happy, even in his naivety. Buddy takes life one smile at a time, doing all he can to spread cheer.
Gift for my dad.
Okay, I'll take this.
Okay, well, just make sure he knows it's from me, Buddy, his son, okay?
Okay.
And I love him so much, and I think he's the greatest.
After getting disowned by Walter and running off, Buddy comes across Santa and his broken sleigh. When he learns that the sleigh isn't working because of the lack of Christmas joy in the city, Buddy does everything he can to help Santa.
Whoa, Dasher!
I'm getting too old for this job.
Now!
Through his interactions with those in his social environment, Buddy gets Santa's sleigh back in flight, and there is a positive Christmas spirit in the air.
Never brought to mind, should all acquaintances forget.
Like every Christmas flick, love plays a central role in Buddy's character development. The love he experiences in his relationship with Jovi was not in a way that dampened his bright outlook on life. Instead, it was a motivation to be brighter.
But I really wanted to see you, and I think you're beautiful, and I feel really warm when I am around you, and my tongue swells up.
Buddy's innocence actually led him to meet Jovi, his sweetheart. After getting sent out by his dad when they first met, Buddy takes the sarcastic advice the security gives him to go to Gimbel's, since he was in an elf costume. Buddy was mistaken as staff, once again thanks to the costume, and started working for the store's Santa Land. That's where he meets Jovi.
Why are you messing with me? Did Crumpet put you up to this?
I'm not messing with you. It's just nice to meet another human who shares my affinity for elf culture.
I'm just trying to get through the holidays.
Buddy is instantly attracted to her, and they eventually go on a date. Buddy won her over with his naive and funny personality. Their relationship is pure and honest.
You make me feel so young.
Wow.
You make
That's a
me
big
feel
one.
there are songs to be
Buddy helps Jovi to find joy in the festive wonder, and she gets over her fear of singing in public.
Best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear.
Jovi, in turn, helps Buddy to get some stability in the new world he found himself. The most important thing about their relationship is how Jovi never took his childlike personality for granted, but instead chose to accept him for everything.
It's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
Dad?
Buddy gets lucky and marries Jovi. The couple eventually has a daughter, Susie, and they all take frequent visits to the North Pole to visit Santa and the elves. His relationship with Jovi only helped Buddy share his love and happiness with a family of his own. But he never forgot about the family that he grew up with. The love Buddy and Jovi had was never imposing or limiting. In several ways, Buddy brought out the positivity and cheer that Jovi always had within.
By the way, I think you have the most beautiful singing voice in the whole wide world.
Their relationship turns out to be the perfect ending of all fairy tales, but a strong reminder that love always blooms in happiness.
Sorry.
You missed.
Buddy is a weird, funny, and sweet character, like most main characters in Christmas movies, but his innocence is the most endearing part of his personality. Despite his ups and downs, Buddy doesn't let his energy go far from being positive. But maybe it is because of all the sugar he eats. Well, If that's the case, everyone in the world should eat a lot of sugar.
I think I have some. Yes.
You like sugar, huh?
Is there sugar in syrup?
Yes.
Then yes!
Life must be fun when you have no worries and are truly happy, which is exactly how Buddy lives. When you put together the magic of his childhood and the way he settles into the harsh reality of life, it is easy to see that Buddy should be the standard for positivity. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us on the breakdown of Buddy Hobbs' psychology. Take a look at this other recent clip by Director's Choice, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified with our latest videos.